much fraud. We have a stock market in collapse. We have a housing market soon to be collapse. All the three positions at Freddie Mac, gone, fired at once. There's also a really good movie about this if you want to watch it. Also ended in tragedy. Freddie Mac, CFO, lost of life. I mean, what are the chances that we have a housing crisis? What could possibly go wrong? We're not in a bubble. Check one. Check two, not everyone has been fired. Check or step three, depending on how you're diving off of this building, not all of the massive cover-up and mortgage foreclosures have hit the books yet. Well, except for the floodgates of hell have kind of opened. People are running around in anger and disbelief. Donald Trump is losing it, which is almost as bad as being unhinged as he scraps education. Welcome to your latest South Park episode where everyone is on fire.
The $1.9 billion given to Stacey Abrams, a fake NGO.
Utter insanity.
Stacey Abrams, have you ever heard of her?
That's just corrupt, I think. That's paying off cronies at that point.
1,000%.
Yeah. And by the way, she knew. Like when you get $2 billion, you don't miss that. That's not
an accident. Allegedly, it was for environmentally friendly appliances or something, and they've given like 100 appliances so far.
If I end up spending $200,000, if I spend $10 more on it, you know what? I get to be here to do the work. So suck it up.
I know some of you guys are like, bravo, that wasn't Stacey Abrams at the end. What? It's a politician. It's just part of this fraud keeping this machine going, and this machine has stopped going. All of that revolving credit, well, there's no more credit and there's no more revolving. There's also no more Department of Education, no more earnings. You should see the earnings revisions. Not good. If you happen to be holding Nike, you're going in the wrong direction. I'm currently up over 109%. Why don't you take my bear market course where I help you make money when market go down? Because you've been yelling at me, I can't afford 1,000. So I'm like, okay, one day sale, bear market course, $199. Do you want to be like the Big Short and go, bravo, called it? Because you're just not going to make money watching The View. Although, this one finally took a turn for the better.
All right, all of this, money cutting, all this stuff, I'm sorry. The United States government made a deal with Elon Musk for those cars of his. And what was the price?
$400 million.
$400 million. Cut that out.
Well, Whoopi, the deal that you're talking about was made by Joe Biden with Tesla. And Trump just canceled it, by the way. So if there's any questions of conflict of interest, there you have your answer. But in general, the US government pays numerous companies like Boeing, Lockheed, Tesla, and many others, but to innovate, create jobs, and grow the economy, and to cut emission, okay? We will get back to that. But Doge, on the other hand, is just cutting wasteful spending and exposing government corruption. Big difference there, whoop whoop. And I gotta say, it's quite telling that everyone on this panel constantly advocate for climate action, and you cheer for government use of your tax dollars to cut emissions, yet you oppose Tesla, the world's leader in reducing vehicle emission, receiving these funds. Meaning, you're willing to let the planet get destroyed because you don't like the guy who's trying to save it. Or you don't actually believe in climate change. So, which one is it?
If we could just take a moment here, a moment of silence for The View, I'd have to say whoop whoop got her booty handed to her. But hey kids, I didn't know if you noticed this. Turn on the news. Trump is going off. Here it is from the Donald himself, Elon Musk, will be briefed by the Pentagon about USA's top secret plans against China should there be a war, according to the failing New York Times, which Donald Trump no like, one of the worst and most purposely inaccurate newspapers anywhere in the world. Their fake concept for this story is that because Elon does some business in China, that he is very conflicted and would immediately go to the top Chinese officials and spill the beans. And the crowd goes wild. The fake news is the enemy not being briefed, words of war. And I'm like, I don't know, guys. I am down with this dude in there looking at the books, not a politician, uncovering so much fraud. Trillions Trillions. It's almost like, and I explained this to my wife, and she's like, how is this even possible? Why is this not on every news station? The government just gives everyone money. I'm like, yeah, babe, you start an NGO, and here's a trillion. You want a trillion? Billion? How much you want? Just make sure you make some donations in the back end to my campaign. And Elon called them money machines. Absolutely no oversight. And now his company is being blown up. His stock price decimated, which I click short button. I mean, that one's been kind of like stealing candy from a baby. I mean, Nike's been pretty good. Also, did I tell you my bear market watch list is going up this week? No more $1. And I know capitalism. Oh, also, if you could check to see if you've been unsubscribed, it's happening once again. For some reason, the more I talk about this stuff, radical left judges that were found on an island with children, because all islands have children. And the guy who owned that island just happened to hang himself. Like a picture hangs itself, or an ornament hangs it all by itself. But what we are seeing is judges doing everything that they can to mess it all up, even though they don't have the power. As Trump says, if Justice Roberts and the rest, Roberts was the one on the island, Donald, and he wants him to stop it immediately. Otherwise, our country is in serious trouble. Well, I hate to break it to you, we're in serious trouble. All these guys want to do is just muddle the waters so everyone stays safe, keep the system going, keep the money machines printing, which happened the last time you were president. The court system's not going to stop. The politicians aren't going to stop.
Every person, every human being has the legal right to come to the United States and seek asylum or shelter.
Let me just reiterate what she just said. Everyone in the entire world can come here angry. Different cultural values, like Whitey must die. Oh, hey, Don, I think you got a fight on your hands. And even with shortfalls, everyone's broke. We want money. You see all the teachers cut in school today. As today, nearly 80% of Colorado schools are closed. Potentially proposed cuts to the public education. Thousands of Colorado teachers protest. Look at them. Rather than maybe helping these kids out a little bit. Teaching all the kids about the 3 R's. That's what they taught you in school. The 3 R's. Reading. Okay. Check. You got that one. Writing. I think you screwed the pooch on that one. That looks like a W to me. Tell me you could just cherry pick a letter in there. And arithmetic, it's arithmetic. I guess arithmetic does start with an R. That is only 2 out of 3. But that is what all those teachers are fighting about and getting more pay, because paying people more, because then you're better. Which I can guarantee you, if you pay them more, they ain't better. I know this because I was one of them. Them teachers were angry. They know like Mr. Bravo, because they would yell at me, and I'm like, well, quit. Because they would say, I have a master's degree. And I'm like, good, go use it. Yes, but I'm here for the children. No, you don't like them. I hear you in the break room. Even your own children don't like you. Come on, Todd. The court ordered you. You only have supervised visits of your own kids, like once a year. Let's listen in to Trump speaking about dismantling it.
And also, Bobby Kennedy, the Health and Human Services, will be handling special needs and all of the nutrition programs and everything else. Rather complex, but that's going to be headed by and handled by Health and Human Services. So I think that'll work out very well. Those 2 elements will be taken out of the Department of Education, and then all we have to do is get the students to get guidance from the people that love them and cherish them, including their parents, by the way, who will be totally involved in their education, along with the boards and the governors and the states. And it's going to be a great situation. I guarantee that in a few years from now, I hope I'm going to be around to see it, but I think we're going to see a lot of it. I think that you're going to have tremendous results. You're going to have results like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and also Bobby Kennedy, the Health and Human Services, will be handling special needs and all of the nutrition programs.
Did you catch that Kennedy is going to be handling nutrition and the crowd goes wild? Your kids will no longer be severely obese. We'll just bring it down to the overweight category, as here is Congress. You guys, this being in education, I'm like, oh my gosh, They're all sick. Please, we need a bill to stop this. And so they said, we need to implement more vegetables. And Congress said, okay, pizza is a vegetable. Now all the kids will get 2 slices of pizza. That's what they said. Now because the sauce, the tomato sauce, they said a tomato is a vegetable, which it's not a vegetable. Now, since a tomato is a vegetable and there's the pizza sauce, they now get 2 slices of pizza, and we need more fruit in their diet. So you can have a few of these also. About the same time, they're also yanking our soda machines. No more Coke. Kids shall now get vitamin water. I was upset because I wanted my Diet Coke or my... I'm like, no, I hate that stuff. I'm like, you guys do know it's Coca-Cola. Parents are like, no, it's not. It's not Coca-Cola. It is. No, it's vitamin water. How many calories does it have? How many calories? 140 calories of 32 grams of sugar. It's Coke. I mean, it even says it. Oh, look. Coca-Cola. But it's so much more healthier than this 140 calories. And welcome to school, where you have reading, writing, and arithmetic, where they prepare you for absolutely nothing but going on to the next box. Because once you make it to college, then it all just makes sense. You get out, you get that bachelor's degree, no one hires you. Well, maybe it's a master's degree. Huh? That didn't work either. Well, let's get a doctorate. Oh, now you're overqualified. Not like the good old days, where the birthplace of the Republican Party, actually, if you didn't know this, it took place in a schoolhouse. On this day, March 20th, 1854, the Republican Party of the United States of America was founded at a schoolhouse in Wisconsin. What was the purpose? It's a little different this time, to counter the Democrats' plan to expand slavery. You see, you subscribe to this channel and you learn something new every day. Sometimes I have to go back a few hundred years, sometimes just a few years. Why don't we listen to President Reagan, how he felt about the educational system? Take it away, Ronnie.
I propose, and would have already started, if your hypothesis is correct, a planned and orderly transfer back to the states and local communities of functions the federal government has usurped and which it has proven it is incapable of operating. And one of the first of those would be welfare. One of the second would be in the field of education. I would like to dissolve the $10 billion National Department of Education created by President Carter and turn schools back to the local school districts, where we built the greatest public school system the world has ever seen. I think I can make a case that the decline in the quality of public education began when federal aid became federal interference.
Just like that, the people pick up their pitchforks and they're like, no, the education system hasn't failed my kids. We're all so good. But hey, mom and dad, I think with your pitchforks, you should probably be more worried about your home, your portfolios, and then the collapse. By this chart, it already started. This is your revolving credit. If you're like, well, it's not as bad as that. This is when you couldn't even get out and spend credit, even go into a bank to try to get credit. And by the looks of that line, we're catching up. As shown in the defaults and the rejections, highest than ever. This is it. You guys win. It couldn't get any worse. Auto loan, 34%, the highest on record. Mortgage, almost 50%, highest on record. Credit card, 32%. Okay, credit card, you guys, not so rejected. Credit limit increase, 39%. Difficulties across the board. The game is over. All we now have to look forward to is there's massive mortgage fraud, millions of properties. Let's take a little listen into everything's fine. It's going to be fine.
Pandemic relief, the administration masked the growing troubles in the housing market by paying off borrowers and mortgage servicers to prevent foreclosures. Of the 52,531 FHA loans last year that went seriously delinquent within their first year, only 9 resulted in foreclosure.
You got 9 that goes into foreclosure. What about the rest of the fraud? Well, let's listen up.
Actually introduced a program that pays mortgage servicers to make borrowers miss payments for them. Missed payments are added to the loan's principal but without interest. It's essentially a glorified government grant. The FHA also pays servicers to cut monthly payments for delinquent borrowers by 25% for 3 years, with the payment reductions also added to the principal without interest.
But hey guys, I'm sure there is nothing to see here. It's just a little smoke. What's to worry about Freddie Mac CEO and all these people getting fired? Your house still has so much value. They haven't even really uncovered all of this yet. For those of you that don't want to sell your house, fine. Just learn how to make digits go up. For those of you that are like, I don't want to sell my house though, don't miss this opportunity. I teach you how to go short in my new futures course, and you could be the smartest person in the room. Where the world offers problems, I offer solutions. Make your digits go up, and I love you. I shall see you tomorrow.